Hey everyone, Damien Dudovic here once again from the Studio Network, bringing you a 2 vs 2 on the map Gurmuns Pass for Dawn of Soulstorm. So, bottom right team is Sickness Palm as Space Marines and Jaron Kell as the Imperial Guard versus CJ Mixelich MG as the Space Marines and PJ Hib maybe? Something like that, as the Dark Elder. So we're seeing quite a few initial buildings being made for the Space Marine player for Sickness Palmer, which is kind of surprising really. As for the Imperial Guard, we're seeing a bit more of a standard play from what I can see. And as for we'll just call him Mix, I suppose, Mixelich or Mix, yeah, something like that. We're seeing a pretty standard play as well, so a bit relatively standard play all around. Looks like the Dark Elder player has decided to go for a bit more of a melee-oriented start with his good old Archon squad, and that might actually come in handy against Sickness Palm though. Although he is building a Force Commander, but depending on how early the Dark Elder decides to push, might actually see this early jumble of buildings are not being be as effective. But so we'll have to see what happens, I suppose. Got a command squad coming out, and looks like they're starting off with pretty standard priest and psyche, and at the same time looks like Imperial Guards decided to go for an early commissar as well to do a bit of disruption and to help out his Imperial Guard squad as well. Looks like Scout Marine squad has been caught out a little bit by the Mandrakes. Just see, yep, looks like Mandrake infiltration research is being conducted by the Dark Elder player, so we'll be seeing some pretty nice play indeed. Interestingly, it looks like Mixelich has actually decided to go for tier 2, a very early tier 2, and Sickness has gone for 3 buildings starts, it's Armory, Plasma Generator and Chapel Barracks. Usually you only send Chapel Barracks or a Chapel Barracks and a Plasma Generator, or a Barracks and an Armory built because they're going to build things like the Assault Space Marines, but you don't usually see all 3 buildings being built at once, so it seems to have paid out in this case, mostly because by the time the Dark Elder pushed out, the more standard Imperial Guard were able to help out this enterprising Space Marine player. So Mixelich is deciding to overextend his Scout Marine squad a bit there, maybe just to scout a bit, try to take a strategic point, which is interesting because the strategic point at the back of Sickness Palm's base was temporarily vulnerable, but I don't think Mixelich would have been able to do too much damage there. And there you go, it looks like I've got the invisible Mandrakes just darting about. I'm not totally sure why exactly the Archon squad decided to go for the Scout Marine squad first. It's a bit strange to say the least. And we don't just have any detection for the Space Marine player, so might see some pretty effective use of these Mandrakes before any detection appears. Although we do have command squad with there we go, with a Psyker able to provide protection, or should I say detection, and some protection as well, I suppose, for the Imperial Guard though. So these Mandrakes will most likely get revealed while these Imperial Guard are retreating. Well, at the same time, the Space Marine squad does not have a... Wow. They don't have any Space Marine squads or anything, but they've actually gone for tier 2 themselves, and they're going for an early Chaplain along with a Sacred Artifact, so we'll most likely be seeing some Grey Knights and Chaplain use as well for this Space Marine squad. As for Sickness Palm, should I say. As for Mixelich though, it looks like he's gone for a Librarian and for a Grey Knight squad. Not quite a common start though, yes. Yeah, Chaplain really goes well with Grey Knights. And I suppose with Shadow as well, it goes pretty well with that too, actually. At least for the Dark Elder player, perhaps. But yeah, it's a bit strange to see Librarian being used with Grey Knights, simply because yeah, he costs about the same as a Chaplain, but he doesn't provide a healing or a slowing down ability that helps these Grey Knights out pretty heavily. But he's not too bad though. He provides detection, not that it seems to really be needed at the moment, and at the same time the Librarian gets access to some pretty good abilities as well. I mean, he gets Smite, and yeah, they can be used in it's a pretty good effect combined with the Grey Knight's Psychic Inquisition. And yeah, looks like we've got a Librarian coming out as well for Cygnus Palm. So we've got triple hero and elite squad builds for these two players. As for the Imperial Guard though, looks like they're just about going for tier 2, and looks like they might be going for a bit of a heavy vehicle build given all these plasma generators and their complete lack of troops actually. As for Mixelich, not really much happening in his base or in Dark Elder's base. So I'm not entirely sure why Mixelich kept his troops out for that long. They seem to be probably more of a delaying tactic than anything else. I can't seem to see. Okay, so it looks like his Librarian barely managed to make it out of there alive, and Chaplain is still alive and kicking. As for this Force Commander, he might actually be better off being attached to a regular Space Marine squad, although I do have the Librarian coming out as well. He would most likely also benefit from being attached to such a squad as well. Unfortunately, the Chaplain's been destroyed. Wow, for Cygnus Palm, and amazingly enough, as you can see, his Grey Knight squad has been destroyed as well. Looks like he's going to go back for the Chaplain and most likely the Grey Knights squad though, but he is in a bit of trouble though. He's got some pretty elite troops, except maybe for these warriors, right in the middle of his base, doing a bit of damage, trying to kill off the Force Commander, and he's waiting for a Chaplain to come out, and yeah, now he's got absolutely nothing at all. In fact, if we have a look, it doesn't look like any of his listing posts have been upgraded either. As for the Imperial Guard players, coming up with a few Hellhounds actually, so they'll be able to do some pretty good damage against this anti-infantry army, as you can say. And yeah, the Cygnus Palm is indeed going for good old-fashioned Grey Knights with the Chaplains. A pretty potent mix, provided that you don't throw them away, like Cygnus Palm appears to have done, although they were facing two players at once though, so there's only so much they can do, of course. And looks like, yeah, we're going to be seeing perhaps a triple hero build, perhaps not. Do have Force Commander coming out though, and it looks like the Sacred Artifact has been destroyed for Cygnus Palm. At the same time, we do have some harassing Mandrakes killing off a Plasma generator, so Cygnus Palm is indeed in pretty big trouble actually. Although thankfully the Hellhounds have come in to burn away the opposition, so to speak. Although what they can certainly do with now is some detection, actually. I'm surprised Cygnus Palm hasn't just created a skull probe to do that. Because yeah, if they're not careful, they'll either have to keep running around, or these Mandrakes are going to make short work of them. So yeah, now this is nothing. Ah, there we go. Looks like they've been revealed. So not entirely sure what revealed them. I can't see. Well, a skull probe come out now, but I didn't see what revealed them before actually. So now, unfortunately, Mandrakes are going to have to retreat a bit. Yeah, there you go. There's something I don't see every day. Looks like
5 minutes until
Dark Elder player actually managed to put down a listing post, pretty much in the rear position of the bottom of our team before being forced to retreat actually. And let's have a look. So it looks like we've got a bit of a victory condition happening for Team 2, which is the top left team, so looks like they okay, it looks like that's just about disappeared. Because yeah, they were holding this point which has just been decapped, as you can see. So I don't really see any other troops coming out for the Space Marine player. It looks like, yeah, he's just being pretty occupied in building his base and also upgrading his listing post. So we're going to see another nice little counter attack by the bottom right team. We'll be able to do the damage it needs to do, who knows, who knows. I must say that Mindford actually does do a bit of damage to vehicles at the same time. Looks like we got some land speed of Tempest by Mixelich to mix things up a bit. That's going to certainly be a pretty big pain in the ass for the bottom right team, because as you can see they don't have any anti-vehicle units out, so they'll most likely have to retreat their units actually. Especially since they're running into a minefield and blowing up as well. That doesn't really help either. Although we do have the land speed of Tempest getting disabled by the command squad, but unless if they have some anti-vehicle units, it's only going to delay them further. At the same time, we've got land speed of Tempest being wisely used on Hellhounds, and doing a bit of disruption on the building, as you can see. So, Tech Priest might be able to repair it, but no, it looks like the Hellhound's are going to go down instead. So, a pretty good save by Mixelich, actually. I'd say that big part on that defense was certainly played by those land speed of Tempests, and being able to do that damage that simply couldn't really be countered by the current troop composition of the bottom right team. Interestingly, it looks like Kel decided to go for a Basilisk for some reason instead of a Sentinel. Well, he's gone for a Sentinel now. He's gone for a second one, and as you can see, it didn't really pay off. Probably should have gone for an earlier Sentinel, given the amount of air vehicles that they were facing. Wow, that Psyker doesn't sound too good. Interesting, we've got some Scourges coming to the fray as well, and sandwiching this Grey Knight squad between them, or at least they would have sandwiched them if they didn't retreat after losing several members. And it looks like, yeah, we do have the Sacred Artifact rebuilt as well. With a couple of commander upgrades being researched and tier 3 being researched as well. So given the lack of the vehicle plant for this Space Marine player, I'm guessing is most likely be going to go going for tier 3 command abilities, and for elite troops as well, most likely. Actually, yeah, he still has his Grey Knights out, so don't know which particular elite troops is going to go for first. I have to sort out the space. And yeah, the Scourge is just getting absolutely ripped apart there. So we're seeing not too much actually in terms of decisive moments. We had a near decisive battle in Sickness Palm's base. However, it looks like he's pretty much successfully rebuilt from that, and yeah, he's going back for a triple hero build and even going to tier 3. While at the same time we've got some elite units coming out for Jaren Kell as well. So at the moment I'd say things are relatively even, although we could have maybe this critical location captured by one of the bottom right players just to give them that extra bit of requisition and side as well, so couldn't hurt. At the same time though, Mixelich is in tier 3, he's got orbital command, and yeah, it looks like he's going for his own elite troops as well as going for his Librarian abilities. Yeah, if I just see if I can find his Librarian though. He's somewhere, but in either case, looks like a Librarian for other Space Marine player, the Sickness Palm players come out. Bit of a puzzling use of their ability there by the Archon squad. He held down the Grey Knight squad for a bit, but the problem is Grey Knight squad is pretty adept at melee, melee damage, and they do pretty decent range damage as well. So not entirely sure what the point of that was, but there you go. So yeah, it looks like got similar things being done by both Space Marine players. Looks like Sickness might be a little bit behind when it comes to upgrades though, although I'll just have a look. Can't seem to see any elite troops for Mixelich yet, although they could they could be waiting to deploy in the chopper barracks itself.
Scouts report.
I'm not sure why these Kasukins are in well, why they're letting themselves getting the lead for starters, and why they're letting themselves get into negative cover. It's certainly not a good position, to say the least. Sickness Palimpsest is coming. I assumed he actually meant it's here, but then I noticed that there's actually a bit of a sneak attack happening by Mixerlich, so he's actually doing a bit of damage. He's destroyed a listening post of Imperial Guard player, and he's also casting the bombardment ability as well, and he's going for the Word of the Emperor ability as well. So some pretty decent damage actually being done actually. In fact, if he focuses on these vehicles, he or rather if he did focus on the vehicles before being forced to flee, he would have been able to kill both of them most likely. And unfortunately, I almost like to see this the Lama get wiped out. So Assault Terminators versus regular Terminators, an interesting matchup. Certainly not an ideal one for the one with the regular Terminators, but there you go. So I don't know how much, how worthwhile that attack was. They didn't even manage to capture this point, and they lost a pretty significant chunk of the army. At the same time, though, they were able to distract both the Space Marine player and the Imperial Guard player from this attack on the right side. But as you can see, this Dark Order attack hasn't done too much damage. Rather, they might be able to destroy this listening post, but as you can see now, they're being engaged on the right as well. Pretty good ability used by this Dark Elder player. As you can see, they use the combat drugs and the torture ramp, I think, to slow down the enemy troops as well. Again, the Archon squad used his Animus Vitae ability to hold down this Grey Knight squad, but I don't know why they would have done that. It just seems very strange to say the least. The Scourges most likely get cleaned up pretty quickly as well, so they managed to destroy a listening post, but I don't think that was too cost effective, to say the least. And for the first time, I think for the first time in this game, the listening post is finally being, the relic is finally being captured by the bottom right team. Although it is, Archon squad isn't going to like it by the looks of it. And boom, managed to capture it. So not bad at all. Yeah, looks like I've got a Mars pattern command being built. And yeah, provided they can keep the relic secure, we might actually be seeing a good old Baneblade being used as well, actually, by the Imperial Guard player. So if they, given how relatively equal things are at the moment, I'd say Baneblade would most likely tip the game in the bottom right team's favour. But yeah, Baneblades of course aren't invincible, they're pretty expensive, and yeah, they can still be countered, so let's see what happens. What has been countered though, so most certainly, is this Basilisk, as you can see, which is just fading from sight. Soul Space Marine squad, I think they used a, they would have had to use a Melter bomb ability, although given the low health of it previously, might have just attacked it normally. And yeah, Mixerlich has decided to, for whatever reason, go for that listening post, which killed off quite a few of them. At the same time, we have a nice little battle being fought on this middle portion of the map, actually. Interestingly, the top left top left critical location has actually been decaptured. So I might say they're getting captured by a few scout squads or something similar. Actually, here's an interesting fact about the game as well. This heavy bolter turret, as you can see, it's in heavy cover, but it doesn't actually benefit from the heavy cover, even though one could make the argument that it's shielded from ranged fire by those craters. But there you go, that's just the peculiarities of this this game, actually. Although yeah, it'd be perhaps a bit unbalanced, at least in this sort of game, to make the buildings get an advantage from being in cover. But last thing though, it gives enemy troops an advantage as well if they decide to melee that building in cover as well. Yeah, it is interesting. We've got a couple of Warp Beast squads being used by the Dark Order player to do some pretty good damage against the Space Marine player base, and looks like, yeah, John Kell's sending in his nice little squad to try to do some damage back to them. So we might see a bit of a base trade. Although it looks like Mixed Lich is certainly not to be discounted yet though. He's got a Predator out against Gurmuns tank, so I'm pretty sure, well, one-on-one the Predator would win with all its las cannons, but yeah, against two Gurmuns tanks, and of course with the command squad to disable them, they just can only do so much, as you can say. Sickness Palmer's HQ is about to fall actually, and we've got another Dreadnought coming in for the mix, so indeed we might just see a base trade after all actually. So yeah, it looks like he's going to be building another HQ, so yeah, we're going to be seeing a bit of a base trade. I'll just see if Mixed Lich is building anything. Doesn't seem to be the case. So if Mixed Lich is not careful, he might actually be out of the game, while Sickness still has a few troops to get to do a bit of damage. I wonder what I have to admit though, the Dark Elder is certainly having an easier time on the in Sickness Palm's base than what Sickness Palm and well, and what Joe and Cal previously were having in Mixed Lich's base. So I might actually see Mixed Lich's base being successfully defended here. Bit of a failed spellcast there, as you can see. Got various Dreadnoughts coming out for this Space Marine player's base. And yeah, pretty much his entire base has been destroyed, only his armory remains, so it's a good thing he got that builder out just in time to do that. But at the same time though, there's these beasts and the witches will be getting torn to shreds most likely. And yeah, Space Marine player, which was a Sickness Palm, being forced to withdraw from Mixed Lich's base, unfortunately. So not quite a base trade as I might have been hoping for, but there you go. Still managed to do quite a bit of damage though. In fact, it looks like Mixed Lich's HQ has been taken down, actually. And apparently this game only has a few minutes left, which is a bit odd, given that we're still seeing some running battles happening, and oh. Okay then, so it looks like, yeah, that Dark Elder player did indeed fall. Good old Baneblade coming in to save the day, and yeah, looks like Mixed Lich will most likely be following suit, unless if he can pull something out. His base is still not completely destroyed, but well, okay, now it's completely destroyed. He just quit the game. So there you go. Some interesting back and forth action indeed. So yeah, I'll be uploading. Hopefully all these uploads will be successful, so if they're all successful then you should see a whole bunch of videos appearing a bit later on tonight. So until that happens, this has been Damien Davidovic signing off.